Hello everybody, in today's tutorial we are going to be learning to crochet the strawberry stitch. As it's the Wimbledon final tomorrow, we decided to go for the strawberry stitch as a little ode to Wimbledon. We thought it was a perfect stitch to learn. So for this tutorial you are going to need your yarn, so red and green, some scissors and your corresponding crochet hook that goes with your yarn. So I'm just using a 4mm and this yarn is Robin DK. So if you want to grab all your stuff, get ready, and then we can get going with our strawberry stitch. So although this stitch looks quite complicated, it's actually a really good stitch to start to learn how to carry over your yarn and not sort of cut it when you're working it, so you actually crochet over the yarn that you are not working with at the time. So this is what it looks like on the back. And it is kind of a 2-row repeat. So after you've done your foundation chain and your row 1, then rows 3 and 4 are just repeated until you get to the size you want for your piece of work. So let's get going. So you want to start off with your green coloured yarn, and we are just going to start off with a slip knot. If you are unsure of how to do a slip knot, I do have a video. I will pop it in the cards section above. So just do your slip knot, and then our foundation chain is going to be worked in 3s. So you want to chain in multiples of 3 and then just add 1 on to the end. So as this is a sample piece, I'm just going to chain 24 and then pop my extra 1 on the end, my turning chain. So if you want to pause the video and just chain your work in multiples of 3, so that means the number 3 has to go into your final number. So 24, 3 goes into 24, and then just add 1. So just chain your work until you reach the length that you require for your piece of work, and then meet me back here. So I have chained 24 chain stitches, and I'm just going to add 1 onto the end, she says. If you make sure that you chain, like, don't do your chain quite tight. If you're new to crochet or you tend to have quite tight tension, you can always use a hook size up for your foundation chain, so that will make your chain a bit looser. So next you want to do a double crochet. So this is UK terms. If you're in the US, this is a single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So we never count this one on the hook. So number 1 is here, number 2 is here. So just a double crochet or single if you're in the US. So yarn over, not yarn over, even, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and another double or single if you're in the US into the next one. And you want to continue all the way until you get to the end, just doing double crochets. So if you want to pause the video now and then meet me back a few chain spaces from the end, and I will show you how to turn and start the next round. So I just have a few more double crochets until I reach the end. So once you reach the end and you've done your last double or single if you're in the US, you want to chain one. This doesn't count as a stitch, this is just our turning chain, and then we're going to turn our work. So I've done my chain one and I've turned my work, and this is where we are going to bring in the red. Now what I suggest you do is get your red and pop it away from the green. So what we're going to do now, if I can find the end of my yarn. So we are going to do 1/2 treble into this first stitch here, or a half double if you're in the US. So yarn over, insert your hook into the very first stitch up here, yarn over and pull through. Oh, she says yarn over and pull through. You've got 3 loops on your hook. Now instead of yarning over with the green, we are going to grab our red and pop it on our hook. Hold your green down here and just pull through with your red. Now the first bit of where you're attaching the colour is always the trickiest. So this is just the red for our strawberry. So what you need to do now, I tend to hold the tail down because this red tail, because I'm going to work over that, and then you want to get your green as well and pop that on the top. If you can see, let me hold this out of the way. So we're working with this strand, we're working over this green, we're going to carry the green, and then we're going to work this tail end in. So what we're going to do in this very next stitch here, just there, is we're going to do 5 half treble crochets, or half doubles if you're in the US. So if you can see, I'm working over these 2 bits of yarn and into the stitch here. So pop it to the back, try and hold it to the back of your work. So there was number 1, all into the same stitch. 2, 3, 4, and on number 5 we're going to drop the red and we're going to come back to, if I can grab it, to the green. So you want to start your stitch as normal, so yarn over, insert your hook, working over those strands, yarn over, pull through. Now we're going to drop this red and we're going to pick up the green. I find it easier to have my red over here and my green over here so they don't all get mixed up. So we're going to drop this, pick the green up, and then we're just going to pull through those 3 with the green, and then just give your reds a bit of a pull. And in the next stitch we're going to do a half treble or a half double. So insert your hook, and I'm working over the 2 red strands, so one's my end and one is my working piece of yarn. Grab your yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. Then the next we're going to do another half treble or half double if you're in the US. On this stitch we're going to drop our green, pick up our red, make sure those 2 are lying there, pull through 3 with the red, so just give your ends a bit, I tend to give my ends a bit of a pull. Then in the next stitch we are going to be doing 5 half trebles or half doubles, working over the green and the tail end of our red. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't worry about it looking messy. It doesn't matter because the next round will sort it all out. Oh, 4. Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one, number 5, you do your half, so you got your 3 loops on your hook, you drop your red, pick up your green, insert your hook, and pull through. So this is what it looks like. And then we're gonna work over the 2 red bits, so our little end here that is slowly disappearing and the red that we're working with, and do 1 half treble or half double if you're in the US into the next space. Just give that a pull. And then into the next space we're going to do half our treble in green, drop our green and go back to our red, give it a pull through, pull that green. And then our 5, it's a bit squeaky, it's because it's hot. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this next one we do half, we drop our red and pick up our green. So you want to continue doing that pattern all the way along until you get to the end. If you want to pause the video now, so you do your 2 half trebles and then 5 half trebles in the next stitch, 2 half trebles, 5 half trebles in the next stitch, all the way along till you get near to the end. If you want to pause the video, and I shall meet you back here and I'll show you how to do the next round of the work. So I'm just a few stitches from the end and I'm going to start my last strawberry, so I'm doing my shell in here of 5. One, 2, 3, 4. So in my red, picking up my green, 5, and then in the very last stitch we're just going to do 1/2 treble, if I can find it. Very good. So this is what it looked like. Oh, excuse my end there, I can snip that off later. But it will probably curl, but that's fine, because when we get onto the next round, it will tighten up a bit. So there you can see the start of our strawberries and our green in between. Ignore that, I can work that in when I'm finished. So once you've done your last 1/2 treble, you want to chain 1 and turn. So we've chained 1 and turned our work. Our red yarn is here and we're going to work over it. So you want to do a 1/2 treble or double in this very first stitch that is here. So insert your hook, try and work over this red here. So you've got 3 hooks and then pull through. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a cluster in these 5 stitches here. So you want to yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. Now normally you would yarn over again and pull through all 3, but we're not going to do that. We're going to move on to the next stitch. So yarn over again, insert your hook, yarn over and pull through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 5 loops on your hook. Then we're going to yarn over, insert our hook, working over that red yarn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Into the next red one, yarn over, insert our hook, pull through. You should have 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yarn over, insert your hook into this last red one and pull through. So you should have 11 loops on your hook, and we're going to yarn over and pull through all 11. Now I find it easier if I pop this bit of my hook down, so you want to pull through all 11. And that is what it looks like. So give your red a bit of a tug. Now the next stitch here, it's just a 1/2 treble. And a 1/2 treble in the next stitch, a complete 1/2 treble. And then we're on to our cluster stitch again. So yarn over, insert your hook, pull through, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. So now you've got 5 stitches on your hook. Get some more yarn. Yarn over, insert your hook, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and again. So we have 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one last time to this last red stitch here. So we have 11. And we're going to grab our yarn and we're going to pull through. And then I always give this red a bit of a tug and it brings it in. So this is what it's starting to look like now. You can see the strawberries are starting to raise up a bit. Like the, oh, it's upside down. Like these ones here. So you want to carry on doing that all across the row. So 2 half trebles or doubles if you're in the US, and then your cluster stitch all along your strawberry, all the time working over the top. You can see it in here, over the top of this red yarn. So if you want to pause the video now, and I'll meet you when we get near to the end of this row here. So moving on to the next round, we're going to do a half treble or half double into this space here. So we need to work over this red. So just into that space there. And then the next stitch, we're going to do a half double or treble, depending whereabouts you are in the world. And we're dropping the green, and we are picking up the red to finish that stitch off. Let's just pull those through. Just give that one a bit of a tug and it'll tighten that stitch up. Now in the next stitch, we are going to do 5 half trebles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then drop your red and come back to your green. And then we're just going to repeat that again. Green. So it's just the same as row 3. So you just want to continue repeating row 3 and 4 until your piece gets to as big as you want it to be. This sample piece is just a few rows, just so I could show you what it looks like. So I hope you enjoyed the strawberry stitch. I hope carrying over that yarn hasn't been too stressful, but I promise you it does get easier the more you do it, and that's why this stitch is really good, because it's only got 2 colours. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can also find me on WordPress and also on Instagram. I will leave all the links below. So happy crocheting, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.